Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the promised update about my Smithiantha plants because they're just coming into bloom here. This hybrid is called Smithiantha Midvinterljus. Smithiantha is a plant in the Gesneriid family, which is also the family that contains African violets and Streptocarpus. Those are pretty popular plants that a lot of people know. But Smithiantha is one of those plants that I never really heard about before, but it is a very awesome plant, very easy and rewarding to grow, and it has these wonderful velvety, fuzzy leaves and beautiful blooms that kind of remind me of foxgloves. Another name for this plant is temple bells. There's lots of different color varieties, yellow ones, white ones. This is a pink one with some nice pink spotting on the lip and a little bit of faint yellow in the column there. They very much look like foxgloves. I grow these in my little case year-round. So they definitely have a grow cycle where in the winter they go dormant. This year, it's October here right now. They're blooming a little bit late for me. Like I was saying in my other video about Smithiantha, I have a light timer on this unit and I accidentally pushed in some of the little nodules that control how long the lights are on. I didn't realize it for most of the summer, and it threw their bloom cycle off. As soon as I noticed that it was, the light was off really early one day and I reset the timers for 10 to 12 hours. As soon as I did that, it started forming the little bloom spikes. Here, I'll open the case. Yeah, so before I noticed, all of the leaves looked like this, but as soon as I turn the lights on, they start forming these little, that's all the buds coming up. And then as the buds form, they elongate and they have these nice dainty held flowers that open up in succession, exactly like a foxglove. I have two varieties in here. So the pink one that's blooming now is called Midvinterljus. And this one in the front is called Snow Angel. So you can see that as they come up in stages, the pink one this one is already blooming, this one is on its way, another one is coming up, and then here's another one, and then so this will be blooming for, I'm hoping, a month or two in succession as the blooms all open up. Anyway, as I was saying, these plants go dormant in the winter. I cut down the watering a little bit. I don't really change the length of day in the case much. These plants seem to know their own cycle based on the temperatures. I always leave the lights on for about 10-12 hours a day. So this year, because the days got shorter, they didn't bloom. But usually what they do is after they bloom, they're like little rosettes of leaves on these long stems that come up. They just kind of sit there over the winter. And then in the spring, I'll notice these little shoots that come out and they'll slowly extend. That's kind of when I start watering just a little bit more and then keep them nice and moist in the summertime. These plants really like growing in this case because I never get water on the leaves. They never get rained on. The sun isn't like the light from this, it's just a fluorescent bulb, a regular fluorescent bulb. It isn't too bright to burn the leaves. So the plants always look really, really nice, in really nice condition. And like I said, then they bloom in the midsummer, mid to late summer. This year they're blooming in the fall, but then the cycle will start again. I know some people, when they start to go dormant, dig them up. And if you were to dig them up, you would find at the end of these stems a little thing about an inch or two, like about that long, and it looks like kind of like a pine cone. I think it's called a rhizome or a tuber, and it's basically like a bulb or like a storage thing so the plant can save up its energy over the winter when it's dormant. Some people dig them up and put them in a dry mixture like peat or, you know, just dry soil and leave them like that until they notice the new little growths starting in the spring. And then they pot them up and let them grow. I've had these in these little containers for about 4 years. I've never transplanted them. When I got them, I got one tuber each, so they've grown a lot. You can see how many growths this one has. And the one, like this one is just growing in the same plastic cup I stuck it in because I was, you know, just, that's my way of propagating. Instead of a pot, I just use a plastic cup, so it's been growing there for a long time. And that one's just in a ceramic pot. And I think I got 3 initially, and yeah, there's a lot more now. I think there's like 8 little rosettes there. Last year I noticed that I didn't let them completely dry out over the winter, so these little leaves, they stayed on through the spring, but I still noticed a whole bunch of new plants coming up from the bottom. So what I did was I just cut them all back, cut all these off, and then I propagated a whole bunch of them. I'll do a separate video about that because these plants are so easy to propagate. You can just like clip off a little bit of the stem and put it in water, and the whole stem will root and start to send out new plants. You can cut a leaf off and root the leaf in water, and it will also grow and send out new plants. You can take a leaf like this, cut the leaf in half, put each half of the cut side into earth, and put it in a nice little humid environment, and it will form little plants along the veins, kind of like a begonia, if you've ever propagated a begonia. Anyway, you can get lots and lots of these plants very, very easily. I'll do a little video that'll show you all the ones that I propagated this year and how I did it. But anyway, these plants are not very common. I don't see them very often. These I happened to find online when I was just, you know, randomly reading about gesneriads online. I saw there's some person's article where they had a little Smithiantha growing in one of those glass bell jars, and I thought, wow, that looks really cool. What is that? And then I started searching online and I found the pink one first and snow angel second, and it's taken me a few years to kind of figure out how to grow them well in this environment here. But now that I know what I'm doing and I know how their growth cycle works and everything, they're just so easy to grow. Anyway, I'll do a little update video when the snow angel starts to bloom as well, and I will do a little video about all the little propagations that I did for this Smithiantha. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hope you liked this video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.